Luis Santana, James L. Knight Convention Center in Miami, Florida. And we are awaiting the appearances of Luis Santana and Milton McCrory. And here comes Santana as we close in on this junior middleweight bout that is scheduled for 10 rounds. Santana out of the Dominican Republic, now living in Hawthorne, California. Record of 26-2, 1 draw, 21 by knockout. He has knocked out his last 5 opponents in his last fight back in April in Las Vegas. On the undercard of Hearns and Hagler, he knocked out highly regarded Darrell Chambers in the 3rd round. Chambers out of the Kronk stable. And so Milton McCrory, who is casually making his way to the ring, vowed earlier in his chat with the fight doctor that he wants to avenge that knockout, doing it for his friend Darrell Chambers. So here is Milton McCrory, the WBC welterweight champion, going today as a junior middleweight in a non-title bout. We'll be back with the fight. Both fighters are in the ring and ready to go. Let's go to the ring announcer. Here is Frank Freeman.
Good evening, boxing fans. Another top-ranked Walter Alvarez sports presentation under the supervision of the Florida Athletic Commission, Robert Shevin, Chairman, Commissioner in Charge, Jim Resnick, Administrative Assistant, forgot his name. It's beautiful. Sid Gersh, I remembered the name.
Little stand-up here by Frank Freeman.
The officials assigned by the commission are doctors at ringside, Doctors Ed Kotler and Chief Medical Examiner Theodore Struhl. Timekeeper Sam Guralny, counting for the knockdowns, Ron Daver. Judging Ed Levine, Al Walensky, the referee, Eddie Eckert. And the principals. From Hawthorne, California, wearing the black trunks with a pink stripe at 152 pounds, Louis, the upset kid, Santana. And his opponent, wearing the gold trunks from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 152 pounds, the WA World Welterweight Champion, Milton the Iceman McCrory.
They call him the Iceman because of his coolness in the ring. That with apologies to George Gervin of the San Antonio Spurs.
Keep those punches up. There is no standing knockdown in Florida.
Check out that reach
no
advantage.
Standing knockdown. 3 knockdowns in any round ends the bout. Shake hands, gentlemen. Good luck to you.
Referee Eddie Eckert, the judges Ed Levine, Al Walensky, scoring on the 10-point must system under the State of Florida Athletic Commission. And the scoring handled by the referee and 2 judges. Bell does not save the fighter except in the final round. As you heard, 3 knockdown rule is in effect. There's a mandatory 8, but no standing 8. It is scheduled for 10 rounds. Milton McCrory, who has been very loose in approaching this bout. It is a non-title affair. McCrory, 23 years old, out of Detroit, Michigan, against the 25-year-old Luis Santana, now living in California, out of the Dominican Republic.
Santana taking chances right off the bat. Well, he's coming in taking a heck of a chance. He wants to put some hurt on McCrory. McCrory trying to figure him out, just trying to drop a good counterpunch in.
McCrory has specialized in early knockouts. His theory, many fighters make their mistakes early because they're not loosened up and they can be caught. He doesn't look sensational usually, but seems to do everything right, very quick and with excellent speed.
Difference in body types evident if you can see on your screen. One man very thick up top, very big. McCrory very thin all the way up.
And McCrory at 6'1" is the taller man. His jab and long right, usually his best weapons. And although he has the knockout record, he's not noted for one-punch knockout power. Seems to rely on his height, slip punches, and at times can be hit with wild attempts, as Colin Jones demonstrated.
Well, this guy he's fighting today has got KO power. He's got 20 knockouts to his credit. And he's already throwing something very heavy at this first round. He's not holding back. They have not landed. McCrory, the superior boxer, figures to outbox him.
And McCrory said earlier he is looking to avenge the Santana knockout of Darrell Chambers, who is also out of the Kronk stable in Detroit. Santana stopping Chambers in their last bout back in April.
Not clean.
Good right hand landed by McCrory.
McCrory's dropping in some very hard shots.
Left hand by McCrory. 3. That's time remaining. Round 1.
6, 7, 8.
That surprised Santana.
He was coming in
left by Milton McCrory. Final seconds. First round. Understandably, much satisfaction in the court of McCrory as he was able to deck Santana late first round with that big left hand.
That's what looked like it was going to happen because of the counter-punching abilities of McCrory and because Santana was very reckless and careless in gambling. I must say, it was a flash knockdown. It did not seem as if Santana was hurt. He got up very well. His eyes were clear. He looked over. But it cost him a 10-8 round.
This is round 2. It's scheduled for 10. Marv Albert and the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco from Miami, Florida. Milton McCrory now launching, leaving his feet as he throws the left hand and putting the good combination to the head of Luis Santana.
I remember McCrory said he doesn't want to knock him out. He wants to give him a little whipping first, teach him a lesson for what he did to Darrell Chambers. And Emmanuel Stewart says everything works off the jab, and you're working perfect. Let's watch a good technician with a jab at work, and Milton McCrory.
Milton McCrory will be defending his 147-pound welterweight title mid-July against Carlos Trujillo, who is on hand to check out this fight. And then McCrory looking in the direction of a title reunification bout against the WBA champ, Donald Corey, and then he would like to go up to junior middleweight.
He'll have to fill out some to be a junior middleweight. Some tough cookies in that division. Santana showing some ring experience, and you can see McCrory's trying to land that right hand. Just when he goes to trigger it off, Santana attacks or moves out of there.
There's the right hand that was blocked by the gloves of Santana.
Santana can feel that coming. He either moves first to disconcert McCrory, get his timing off, or moves away.
On 20 seconds to go in the second round. Milton McCrory 25-0, one draw, that in his first of 2 matches with Colin Jones. McCrory won his first 17 pro fights by knockout, 7 in the first round.
There's a break in the action. It appears that he's hurt his hand, if not broken it. He says he is telling Montoya that he has hurt his hand, that he can't go on. Santana's claiming his hand is broken. He just can't throw it.
And there's the referee, Eddie Eckert. And they're calling for the ringside physician. That's Jimmy Montoya, the trainer of Luis Santana.
That's Dr. Theodore Struhl from the Miami Commission examining him. He's looking at the clavicle. He's looking at the collarbone. He's not looking at his hand.
And they've called it. It's all over. Santana explaining it to McCrory. And referee Eddie Eckert coming over to tell us that Santana suffered a broken clavicle.
Well, that is a painful injury, and no question about it. There's no way to fight with an injury of that kind. And unfortunate though it is, there's nothing else that can be done but to stop the bout.
And so Milton McCrory is awarded the decision by technical knockout. And we'll be back to discuss it with Milton McCrory and Luis Santana right after these words. Back in Miami, where Milton McCrory has stopped Luis Santana, it is scored as a third-round TKO. Santana not able to continue because of the shoulder injury, and so the bout was stopped. And Milton McCrory going in an untitled bout, he being the WBC welterweight champion, has extended his record to 26-0, and the Iceman is alongside the fight doctor.
It's got to be the first time you've won by fracture, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, this is definitely the first time I won by injury.
Well, it's a shame you were just starting to get good there. It was just starting to cook up to a good fight. Did you feel when he came out to put some hurt on you in the first round, you feel your counter punches were going to get him away?
I know for a minute, I thought he was a fighter. You know, when he fought champ, I thought he'd get hit a lot, but it wasn't the case. And then after I knocked him down the first round, he got caught in the change with a left hook. You know, it was a hook. I didn't really even see it until I hit him when he went down. But after that, he started bagging up.
Emmanuel Stewart, you took a great gamble to come in here with a kid that can punch as hard and have a title fight. How did you feel about your gamble now?
Well, I think that Milton was very inactive in 1984, and I think that it was a gamble, but it's something, if he's going to be a fighter, he's going to have to get back active. And this is something that I think more champions need to do. Instead of just waiting on championship fights, you got to fight non-title fights or whatever. But I feel that Milton is one of the most underrated fighters in boxing. I feel that, to me, he's another Carlos Monzon. And only after years that went by and you see the guy continually winning where people begin to appreciate his talents.
That's true, and I agree with you. It's too bad that inactivity makes so many champions rusty. But do you feel that a unification match with Curry is in the offing?
Oh, yes. I definitely want to fight Donald Curry before I move up into the junior middleweight division. There's talk that Milton McCrory is scared of Donald Curry. It's not true. I want the little cow out of Texas come on and fight.
All right. Thank you very much. And now back to Marv Albert at ringside.
All right, Ferdy. And Milton McCrory does have a scheduled title bout coming up July 14th against Carlos Trujillo, and that will be to defend his WBC welterweight crown. Luis Santana is stopped TKO round number 3, and now Santana, along with his trainer, Jimmy Montoya, alongside Ferdy.
Jimmy, let's conduct this mainly through you since you speak English well. When did you think that injury took place? First or second round?
The second round when he threw that left hook and he missed and McCrory hit him on top of the arm. After that, I noticed he backed away. So something was wrong. He wasn't throwing punches anymore.
Did you feel that he had a chance in this bout after he went down in the first round?
Oh, yeah. He got caught. But I told him he was dropping his head. He was getting wild. He was leaping at the guy instead of just, just coming in smooth. He didn't take his time, but we had cooled him out. And now we're going to start working a little different. We're going to start coming into the guy closer without lunging, and
Well, it's an unfortunate thing to lose a fight by an injury, but that is the nature of this sport. We don't have any substitutes to send in. Once the guy gets hurt, that's the end of that.
At first I thought it was a nerve, and I said, we might continue, but when I felt the ball, I knew something was wrong.
All right. Well done, Jimmy, to stop it. And now back to Marv Albert at ringside.
All right, Ferdy. So Milton McCrory over Luis Santana. TKO round number 3 here in Miami. Now,
for officials, you can't go into a Latin atmosphere, have 3 Latin judges, a Latin referee, and think you're going to get a fair call. There's just no way you're going to do that. And when Rocky Lockridge objected, his management objected, they put a Canadian in. Well, Bob Arum, who's here promoting today, is really hot. Says that's a flagrant violation, a discrepancy which the WBA has shown over and over and over again for Latin fighters against Americans. That's his viewpoint. He's going to take it right up to the head of the WBA. They are now looking at the 2 scores of the Panamanians. They are having meetings with them in order to decide whether to suspend the judges or not.